Hello everybody, and thank you for coming back to the channel and to this journey of mine to discover the RC world, like a bit more advanced RC that I'm doing currently. So I've got a set of things and it's taken me some time to take them out of the box because I'm not convinced I know how to handle all this. So let me go one by one. I'll put them all aside and I'll go one by one and I'll show you what I have, and let's see if I figure out how to do it, and if not, maybe then you can help me. So first thing I have here is a servo tester. I've seen some of you use it also. I'm not sure how it works, but I think it's going to be good to have it, and it wasn't expensive. It was kind of on an offer, so I hope I figure out how to work it and what do I need to plug in at each end. So let's see how that goes. So that's the servo tester. Then I have some servos. I got these some time ago already. These I think the normal, I think they're 9 grams. I'm not sure now. Again, they were on offer. I think I have it written here actually. SG90 micro servo 9 grams. I've got 2 with some of the control horns also. In theory should be enough for an aeroplane that has 3 channels, right? So maybe that would be enough. If not, maybe I need to get 2 more for ailerons or something like that. So those are some servos. Ideally I would be able to use the servo tester and test these servos if I figure out where to plug what. But that'll be the journey. Then what else do I have? I'll show you the battery that I got. I got a two cell battery, 2S I think they're called. I just tested it also with a voltmeter. It has a charge of 7.4, which is correct. Probably should go a little bit higher if I want to have the full power out of it, but 7.4 is what it should be, as it's 2S is 3.7 times 2, so 7.4. And size wise I think it's nice, like it's not too heavy, not too big either, so it should fit on easily into a model. So that's a battery that again I'm confused because I have here 2 leads, one which I'm not sure which is which. I think one will be maybe for the charging and one will be for the connecting to the components. I don't know, I need to figure that out. So that's a battery. Maybe I'll leave it outside and I hope I can then find the boxes for each. Then I got separately a battery charger, and I think this is where you're probably going to start to cringe a little bit. The battery charger actually with all these setups is a very expensive part of the whole setup, but it's probably also very important. So what I got this cheap one. I can't remember how much it cost, but it was the cheapest I found, and it says it's good for up to 3 cells, so 2 and 3 cell battery charging, so it should meet my requirement at least for the moment. And I see here some pins, so I believe it's going to be that I'm going to have to plug this in here and then charge it and wait for the lights. There's a little bit of an instruction book here that I'll have to figure out. I might not use it yet because as the battery is charged, but here I have at least a bit of some instructions. So very basic charger, but hopefully enough, and hopefully I don't break anything with it. So that's the charger. I'm going to leave it aside. As I say, I don't think I need it quite yet, I hope. So that's the battery charger. Let's put it here, the battery is there. Then what else do I have? Very important components. The ESC. I've got this ESC. Now I can't remember. I think I got a combo of ESC and no, this is a receiver, sorry, this is the receiver, not the ESC. I think I got a combo of the ESC and the receiver, or was it the engine and the ESC? I'm not sure. What do I have here? Model, I can't, receiver system, 6 channel, 2.4 gigahertz digital FlySky. It's a FlySky receiver. I think this is the antennae. I'm not sure why it has to be so big. And this I believe is used then for the pairing. I suppose it goes maybe into one of these, I don't know into what channel, right? So I have no idea how to use this. I know that into here I should connect the ESC and the battery and then all the servos. That's basically as much as I know. And then depending on the channels, then it will have to be configured. So that's one of the challenges, again one of the complications and the challenges with the receiver. It should also be compatible with the Radio Master. That's why I got it, because at least what I read online, it should be compatible. So hopefully I'm not disappointed by that. Then I have here the ESC. Let me open it because this one I haven't even looked at it. And the ESC, I think the core characteristic has to be the amperage, right? So I have here a 20 amp, which I think is rather small, probably. It's 2 to 4S, so it should fit also the battery. It's a 2S, 5 volt to A, which I hope is the 20 amp. And why the small one? Because it's cheaper, right? And if I'm going to burn it out, as there is a risk of that, I don't want to do it with a big one. And I hope it's enough at least for the first models and things like that. So again, challenge that I'm not sure exactly how it plugs in. I think this will plug into the receiver. There's a 3-pin plug, and then I've got here 2 cables that come out, which I'm not sure where this goes. And then I've got these 3 that I believe these plug into the motor. So then I'll tell you what I think my problem is going to be with plugging these into the motor. I need to put in some jacks in them. So again, a core part of the whole thing, and a lot of questions related to it. So that's then the ESC. Put it here aside. And then what I would say is probably the most interesting part, or let's say more fascinating part, it's the motor. So with the motor I have a little bag of, I think it's like prop holders and things like that. I'm kind of hoping, and some hardware basically to fix it, some screws and things like that. I'll have to figure that out, but that should be easy enough, I hope. And then here I have the motor, and the characteristics of the motor, it's brushless, and that's all I know. I don't know anything else about it. It should, here I have it probably. So brushless, so G28222204, I think that's the dimensions. 14 poles motor, 1400 kV. So I think it should be okay, but again, I'm kind of doing a bit of guesswork. What's interesting for me here is that normally I see on the videos on YouTube is that the rear part of the motor is fixed with this bracket to, let's say, the firewall of the airplane, and then everything else turns around it. Maybe those are the outrunners and things like that. What I see here is that actually the cables are fixed to the front part of the motor, and this rear part rotates, which never thought of it. So I suppose what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to put on the bracket here in front. This will have to go inside the engine cowling, which is going to mean it's going to be quite big, and then this is going to rotate inside, right? So it's a bit puzzling. I wasn't expecting it like this. I was expecting more the normal shape. It's also going to mean that the whole engine or nose section of whatever airplane I'm going to build needs to be relatively big and chunky, which is okay, right? Like at least for the beginning it's going to be okay. So this is then the motor, and here I have these 3 connectors, and I believe what I'm going to have to do eventually is connect these 3 connectors to these 3 cables that come out of the ESC. I was kind of foreseeing that, but I didn't know the sizes, I didn't find it in the specs, so I got also kind of randomly some connectors. And what I see is that these connectors that in theory I would need them to solder onto the ESC, they're not the right size for the motor, right? So either I take the ones off the motor and change them, or I need to get different connectors that I can then solder onto the ESC. So this is going to be probably the first big challenge, which is to figure out how to connect the motor to the ESC. I need to probably go to the hobby shop, maybe take the motor itself and ask for jacks or connectors that then will go into the ESC. So that's going to be probably the first challenge, the first of many other challenges to come. So let's see how it goes. Let's see what update I can give you, because as you can probably hear and see, I'm a little bit lost with so many components. And one thing that I don't have, which I hear is probably also a mistake, I don't have a propeller. So I don't even know for what kind of propeller, for what airplane this is going to be. So maybe a question that will come to you is if you have any kind of model that is easy to build and made of balsa, because I can't use any other materials for the moment. I don't know how. And to try to get something flying on the Brona Parsi, not the one that I'm using so far. So follow me on this one. Actually, I just realized I've been rambling along for 10 minutes showing you the components, so I'll probably finish the video here and try to figure out all the components and then hopefully come back to you in a couple of weeks. And if there's any recommendations, any tips and tricks, I'll be very happy to read about them. So thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time.